Good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and I hope you're having a good morning. I would love to know where you're tuning in from. For me, we are in Minnesota, and at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Where are you tuning in from, and is it sunny, or is it a rainy day? Hopefully, there's no snow anywhere. Unless you're probably in Australia, then you might be getting snow. But as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? And we are going to dive into the book. But remember, if you are brand new, I want to know if you're, first of all, ignore my dogs. I may have to go tell them to stop. They're barking at the geese outside. We have a whole bunch of baby geese on the lake. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? But also, if you are on here and you're brand new, post a new below because I'd love to connect with you and know your goals and just be able to help you on your journey, whether you need a foods list or just an understanding of where to start or where our family started. And so I would love to know that. Second of all, who's reading the book? So if you've got Raina's alarm clock, so if you're reading it, what are you loving about it so far? If you don't have the book, you get to listen to me. I do have something that I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about this little blue dot here in just a second, but I'm going to go over the book first. This is a super cool story, and it will give you perspective in a second. So bear with me, but it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great week. So I would love to say if you are... well, no, that's not what I was going to say. There was a couple things. Never mind. I'll come back to that. So, rain or shine, we are working on going through 3 chapters a day to get done with this in May so we can go through another book. Somebody did ask me, what are we going to go through in June so I can look for the book? We are going to go through the book Morning Miracles. I'll find it. It's somewhere in my home. It's a super great book, and I think it'll help people. I think it's powerful to get up early in the morning and get things done before kids wake up, before you go to work, before your whole day goes by and you have all of these plans and you're like, I'll do it in the evening, and then it never happens. So Morning Miracles is great, and then we're going to go through one of Andy Andrews' books in July. So we're going through 3 chapters. The chapters are usually a page to 2 pages long, but chapter 10 talks about being motivated. Do you feel like what motivates you? I would love to know. I've heard the phrase, motivation is temporary, but inspiration lasts forever. So what's the difference between motivation and inspiration? Really, what he's talking about in the chapter is you need to be motivated. He's like, well, I'm a motivational speaker, so my hope is to motivate you to do something. So he talks about how he provides motivation, but unless you have a cause to take action, you will never be motivated enough to actually take action. He's just like, so many people they want to be motivated and they want to be inspired and they want to do better, but if they don't have something they're going after, it's not going to last very long. That is a good majority of this book, is really helping people understand if you don't have something that's going to push you, it's not going to last very long. So chapter 10 was just about being motivated and what's going to drive you to do that, or the lack of interest in your life and how you're just demotivated. He says success is a choice, which I love. I think oftentimes, here's something have you ever heard, and maybe you believe in luck? So this is not in the book, but I think oftentimes I'll hear people say, oh, you were lucky, or she was lucky, or he was lucky, he had a good upbringing, or she was lucky, she has somebody that supports her at home, or, they were lucky, they had people that were behind them, so they are lucky in their life right now. I'm so sorry about my dogs. I may have to, we're going to walk over here and take a little tour and say, be quiet. So, but I want to tell you something. I don't believe in luck at all. Hey, no. Don't bark. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in blessings. I believe in hard work. I believe in choices. And so when somebody says luck, you know what I say? I say TikTok is luck. TikTok is like you make a funny video and you'll have 1 million views. That's called luck. I said until TikTok came about, I never believed in luck. I believe in working hard. I believe in going after the things that God puts in your life, the gifts he's given you, the talents, and you either work really hard and you make good choices or you don't. And that's it. I guess maybe the lottery would be luck, but not really. If you buy something every single day and you go in with a motive to win, then it's a choice to buy a ticket. I don't know. Just depends. It's just something that I think about. Okay, chapter 11. He tells a story about riding a unicycle, and he really just gives analogies of working hard. He said when he learned how to ride a unicycle, he kept having people say to him, "Oh, I always wanted to do that. Oh, I always wanted to do that." And he said, most of the time when people say something to you, it has to do with their whole life, right? And so he's like, you've always wanted to ride a unicycle, but also if you're in that mode of like, I've always wanted to, he goes, I bet you I'm going to find some other things in your life that you never went after, and you're probably living a mediocre life. And I struggle with this when somebody says, and it's mostly in books, you can live average or you can be savage. You can live your best life or you can live down here on the couch. And I thought, man, that's pretty vocal. Like that's just asking for people not to like you. But what I love about when somebody says, well, you can just live an average life. My family and I love to say, like, does average inspire people? Does average inspire you? If you look at somebody who's average or normal, we love to say normal isn't working. Normal is getting up because you have to and going to a job you don't like and just being okay with being okay, right? It's not meant to make somebody feel bad, but like, are you truly going after the things that you want? And that's what he talks about in the book. Do you want to learn something new? Do you have a passion and desire to go work someplace else, but you've just said, well, I'm not lucky. That's not me. I'm going to deal with the average, right? I don't look at average as bad, but I look at it as I'm just settling for what I have as instead of going after things that I truly desire. My dogs are driving me nuts, by the way. We have 4 dogs. 2 are great and 2 are babies. I say we've got like 2 teenage dogs and 2 baby dogs. So if you feel unmotivated, it just means that there's nothing in your life that you are currently wanting. So he talks about motivation. Do you see my dilemma as a motivational author? I can suggest setting goals, but if there's nothing that you want, goal setting is a task in itself. If you have to sit and just analyze and go over things that you want, it's not going to be strong enough of a desire to make you move off the couch. Okay, hold on 1 second. Thanks for bearing with me as we go over and take care of my dogs. But does that make sense? Hey, stop. Come here. Come on. Does that make sense? Like, somebody can try to motivate you all they want, but if you don't have the actions or the desire to go after any of it, then it doesn't matter. So if you watch me or anybody else, and I'm like, I'm going to motivate you to read. I'm going to hopefully inspire you to do better, but you don't have the why behind it, it's just not going to work. So I would encourage you today, if you don't have a deep down rooted excitement or desire for life, why don't you just get out a piece of paper today and go, what do I really want in life? Write it down. And then if you want, you can message me and I'd love to help give you action steps towards your better. So last chapter was just about tips on growing roses, and it was tips on just growing your life. And he just gave the example of providing strong sunlight. Roses need sunlight. People need people. So he talks about being around cheerful people. He says, don't hang around anyone who doesn't lift your spirits, which can be hard, right? Because it might be in your own family. But he talks about the power of being around powerful people. Talks about watering regularly. Talks about, don't let yourself dry up or just be average. Keep off the TV. Find things that inspire you. Go be around people. It's really not just slumping down and going, ugh, right? What's going to get you to move? Pruning roses, he talks about finding the activities that don't truly give you life. Again, he says, watching the TV, going to the bar, gossiping, fretting and worrying about the past. There's things that you have to cut off from your life to go forward. So I like this book because it's super simple. It gives you simple little tips of just going after your better, right? And my goal was to help you learn and love to read, to get your mindset focused on what you want and to keep going. Now, I learned something this weekend that I wanted to share with you. It was a little story. We had April Simmons Osteen come and talk at our church. And she gave this story. And she said, a professor at a college, his students came in. He said, we're having a pop quiz today. And he had a piece of paper face down on the student's desk. And so all the students sat down, and he said, we're going to have a pop quiz. When I say so, I want you to go and flip over the paper. And so they all sat, hey, no. Watch out. They all sat down, and the students flipped over the paper, and the only thing on the middle of the paper was a dot. She said a red dot. I didn't have a red marker, so I'm going to show you something. So she said the students were instructed for this pop quiz to look at the piece of paper. We're going to say it has a blue dot. She said, I want you to do this. She says, the professor said, look at the paper, and I want you to write me everything that you see. Right, very detailed. And so the students went on writing, and then they all handed in their papers, and the professor stood up in front of the college class, and he read everybody's paper. And he said every single person, every single student wrote in very explicit detail of what they thought about that, we'll say blue dot. She said red dot, but what they thought about the blue dot. And he said not one person wrote about the white part on the page. Everybody focused on the blue dot. And he said, that should give you perspective of what you're looking at. We could say this blue dot is one thing in your life that is a challenge, right? The blue dot could be, I want some fat loss, or what is one or two, the small little things that you're going after. Maybe they're challenges, or maybe they look at like a crazy brick wall that you can't get over. We sometimes take these blue dots and we think this is our whole life, right? But the professor says we have all of this as our life. This is perspective, right? We need to count our blessings. We need to be thankful and not let this one blue dot, or not let even these little couple blue dots, right? These challenges in life, these hurdles, change the perspective of your whole life, because this causes negative attitudes. This causes for you not to be motivated and inspired to go after what you want. But what about everything else in your life? Are you thankful that you got up in the morning to breathe? Like when I get up in the morning, and my husband's great at this, he says, he'll say it sometimes out loud, sometimes not. He'll say what he's thankful for, right? Or something that I say in the morning before I get up in my head, I'm always like, okay, God. Like I just say, are you ready? Here we go. I don't know. It just comes, it's in my mind. I have to talk myself to getting out of bed, but I'm like, let's go. It's going to be a great day. So it doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. It doesn't mean that I don't have hurdles and things to get through, but am I going to focus on this, or am I going to focus on everything else? It's perspective, focusing on the blessings, not the dots. And so I wanted to share that with you. I thought it was a super great perspective story. And whatever you're going through, and it's a brand new week, right? It's a new week. Sunday started the new week, but Monday, work week or school week for you, what is your week going to look like? You get to determine that. You get to determine that by your thoughts, by the things that you speak, by even the people that you surround yourself with, the choices that you make, the books that you read, the people that you watch. Everything that you do is a choice. Next time I'm going to put my dogs in their little bedroom. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have an incredible day. I hope that was helpful. If you're reading the book, continue to read and then let us know below what you're loving about the book. Otherwise, tune in every single morning. I'm going to talk about this. Later today, I'm going to do a Q&A just on the keto basics again and just how to get started. So be watching for that later this afternoon. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an incredible day, and we'll talk to you soon.